Hi guys, I wanted to show you this clip where James O'Brien is being a little bit naughty when it comes to Nigel Farage. So Nigel Farage is having a bit of a difficult time at the moment. The Reform UK leader, well, we should have some thoughts and prayers for him because he recently lost a friend of his who has ended up in jail for taking bribes from the Russians. Have a listen to this.
I was, however, somewhat surprised to hear Keir Starmer calling for an investigation that's clearly long overdue. I was very surprised to hear who he was calling upon to conduct an investigation. I've had a bit of trouble with the clips lately. I don't know why, so hopefully this is the correct clip.
We directly encouraged the uprising in the Ukraine that led to the toppling of the President Yanukovych. And that led, of course, in turn to Vladimir Putin reacting. And the moral of the story is if you poke the Russian bear with a stick, don't be surprised when he reacts.
No, sorry, that wasn't a clip of Keir Starmer calling for an investigation into Russian interference. That was Nigel Farage parroting Kremlin propaganda in the European Parliament.
But in particular, it's a big victory for Nathan Gill, our leader in Wales, an honest, decent, honourable man who's been loyal to me and the party at all times. Nathan, you've led UKIP Wales into this, and well done you.
Sorry. Right. That was a man who has not been found to have taken bribes from the Kremlin in return for parroting Kremlin propaganda in the European Parliament and on various media outlets, talking about a man who has been sent to jail for taking bribes from a Kremlin stooge. Just to be absolutely clear, are we ever going to find the clip of Keir Starmer calling upon a rather unlikely source to conduct an investigation into this obvious scandal?
Nigel Farage, he often has a lot to say. What he needs to do is to launch an investigation into his party, to understand how that happened.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well done, James. You know, you need to call out Nigel Farage. Isn't it strange how GB News are not covering the Nathan Gill story? They're not talking about what Nigel Farage said in the past. I found pretty much nothing on GB News in regards to this. It's almost as if GB News is an outlet for reform. Anyway, is Nigel Farage going to carry out an investigation into Reform UK? Well, you could ask the same question, is Nigel Farage going to carry out an investigation into Nigel Farage? The answer, of course, is no. Now, what should happen instead is Parliament should carry out an investigation into Reform UK and their connections to Vladimir Putin. And the same should apply to every party. No one should be exempt. If the Labour Party is taking money from China, that should be investigated. If the Conservatives are taking money from Dubai, that should be investigated. So every party should be investigated, and every party must be forced to come clean. What you hear on the right is, oh, what about Labour? I'm being transparent here. I think everyone should be investigated if there's a chance that they were taking money from external sources. Now, it's not just governments who are hostile to the UK. It's also individuals who are channeling money into political parties from the outside. That should be investigated as well. Because while Nigel Farage has changed his tune somewhat on Russia, he's now talking about how if he was Prime Minister, he would shoot Russian planes out of the sky if they entered NATO territory. You know, he has changed somewhat, hasn't he? He wants to sweep all this Nathan Gill and Russian business under the carpet because he has realized that, you know, being supportive of Putin is not a vote winner in the UK. Maybe it was the case in the past, but not today, especially not since Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022. Or followed on from their previous invasion, whatever way you want to look at it. But anyway, Putin is not a popular figure in Britain, in the same way as Donald Trump is not a very popular figure. So while Trump is somewhat a bit more palatable for Farage to emulate and to admire, Putin not so much. So this is why he's changed his tune, of course. But I think there needs to be an investigation. Nigel Farage is not going to carry out an investigation into his own party or himself. That's for the birds. But Parliament should, or the government, or some independent commission should carry out this, because this is undermining democracy. This is extremely serious. And anyone who has taken money from shadowy elements from abroad or foreign governments should be exposed, and they should pay the consequences. But when it comes to Nigel Farage, well, we'll have to wait and see. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.